What should I, 17M, do to try get her, 17F, back? What do I do regarding my relationship? Earlier this year, I had received a message from a girl, we will call her Freya, who had seen me and developed a crush on me for the past couple months. At this time, I had never knew about or seen this girl. I had a crush on another girl that I had been friends with. However, due to my mental problems, I had messed stuff up, and I was in a state of slowly building my friendship back up. We will call this other girl Maya. Freya had started to text me more and more until she became obsessed with me, and we would end up talking daily for hours. At this time, I never really had a crush on her, as I only look at one person at a time in the ideas of a crush and relation, and it had belonged to Maya. However, after weeks of talking, I started to develop a crush on her and lost feelings for Maya. Maya was also changing and became someone I didn't wish for anymore. However, the problem was that I would be leaving soon and I'd no longer see both Freya and Maya. I decided in curiosity with Freya's help to talk to Maya one last time and ask her if she had ever had feelings for me. I wasn't asking her out, rather I hated the idea of in years' time still trying to figure out if she had liked me. She would use the "it isn't you, it is me," and I was heartbroken. A couple days after, I was still depressed, yet still talking to Freya daily, even though I had now left. She gained the courage to ask me to date, and after months of us fantasying the future and what we want in a partner, I decided to say yes. However, a lot of me thought that I had been doing it due to the depression I had currently been in. We would end up dating for a couple of months and do couple things such as first kiss, camping and bowling, etc. I would even meet her parents, and they would really like me. However, since before she asked me out, we would weekly talk about my mental differs to the average person. I have both an emotional and mental autism, as well as large amounts of childhood trauma and eating disorders, all due to the ways I was raised, and this caused multiple problems and scares for me about a relationship. However, she would be really supportive, and she herself had multiple physical and mental problems such as asthma and an iron deficiency and being lactose intolerant. However, we would talk weekly on what to do if I had a break, something that causes me to be depressed for a period of time and lose all emotion due to my mental problems. And it would be to try and support me and just ignore something I do, as it wouldn't be me and it would be over in a month or so. Due to past events coming back to me and my mental problems causing a rush of emotions and overwhelming, I would become depressed, and I would go into a mental break in which Freya had become sad herself, as she never realized I had a break, and mentally for me it is like someone else is controlling my body. She thought I had lost love for her and want out, and I would start to say stuff that I didn't mean, and I would apologize whenever I could, and she realized roughly what had happened. After a period of about a week of it, we would meet up, and she tried to comfort me. However, she would become scared and afraid, and this caused it to feed into my emotions, and I had become sad and angry. The entire day we met up, I would barely speak, and this made her think I hated her. I could feel my anger boiling, so I decided to walk away. However, in my own fault, I wouldn't tell her, and she thought I was leaving her and would never see her again. This caused her to rightfully become extremely upset, and we broke up. Instead of arguing, I would spend the month recovering out of my break while we had stayed in contact. After I recovered, I spent the first week cautious, as I was scared that I had never loved her, and instead, due to the heartbreaking moment with Maya, I was scared I just used her as a distraction. After about a week, she stopped texting me, and after another week, I realized that I do really love her and want to spend the rest of my life with her. However, after I told her all of this, she was in pain as she had moved on. While I was recovering from my mental problem, she had many stuff happen involving her parents and arguments, and they resulted into wanting a divorce. They still currently together, and I believe they called it off. However, Freya would have no one to go to during this time due to my problems, and she became really depressed and would even try take her life at one point. I felt horrible. However, I still really loved her and tried to help as much as I could. She told me she didn't want a relationship again as she wasn't ready for one, and this caused me so much pain. However, I chose to stay with her and be her friend even after she told me time upon time to just leave and give up on her. After a couple weeks of being non-stop friend-zoned, I decided I needed a change, and I chose to leave her, and after I told her what I was gonna do, she broke down in tears, and it left me confused. She tells me she loves me so much yet doesn't want a relationship. I have an emotional struggle in understanding this type of stuff, and after this I decided I would still be her friend. Lately it has been getting better, and we met up in person a bit more at my work, and she enjoys it a lot and says it's the best time of her week and we hug and stuff. But every week it's like it resets, and it makes me feel like I will never have a relation again, and it makes me depressed. I have been depressed and unable to move on for the past 2 months due to all of this, and this is why I am now asking for help. I really don't know what to do. I feel horrid and yet also betrayed. We spent hours talking about what to do ADN. She promised me no matter what she would want me again, even if I kissed her best friends. And yet the time I needed her she had left at the end, and when I was recovered and knew how I felt again she want me to go forever. And it feels horrid knowing the person who you loved no longer wants you, and I had watched myself destroy it mentally while not being in control. However, I feel horrid for not being there for her when she needed me. I have been to therapy and received help, and I have now started to get a grip of why mental problems and explain that to her. And now I really want her to give me a chance and let me help her again and be her boyfriend and future husband. However, she tells me she just doesn't want that for years anymore, and yet it feels really weird. This last Friday we talked about if we want kids together and our future dream house, etc. Please can someone advise me on what I need to do to get her back and be her person. I really struggle with emotions and understanding, but I do know I love her. If there are any details that need to be asked, I will reply and answer as fast as I can. Just please someone tell me what to do. Thank you. TLDR. Me and my partner decided to break up after both of us had difficult times that neither of us wished to tell each other. And now I have fixed my problems. I am sad and depressed that I no longer date and care for her when she needs the help.